Hey guys, I wanted to talk about this bass today. This bass I have had for, God, it's got to be going on 20 years now since I've owned it. My best friend got this bass as a present so many years ago. We were going to start a band together and it just didn't happen. We grew up and then I wound up buying this bass off him to keep it out of the pawn shop. And we've lost touch over the years. I just recently found out that he passed away. So this video, we're going to do a guitar archaeology inspection and research on this Peavey, and it's also going to be a bit of a tribute to my friend Doug Gunter. Best Nirvana bass line ever. Now, I do not consider myself a bassist. I pretty much treat a bass like a big rhythm guitar. But I do feel strongly that every guitarist should have a bass in their collection, in their arsenal. There's always times when you're going to need a bass. When you're jamming with some people, there are times when it becomes apparent that someone should pick up a bass. Or when you're just wanting to learn those cool little bass lines that, you know, it's not going to sound cool to play it on the low strings of a guitar. We're looking at a P-bass copy made by Peavey. The color looks dark. It's actually a purple, a galaxy purple. It's hard to pick up on this camera. It's a Peavey Milestone 4. This is not an American-made guitar. This was made in Korea. There's evidence right here of a gum label that very likely said made in Korea. It's disappointing when those go missing along the years. So then on the neck plate, stamped on the neck plate is this number. Let's focus. All right, 009154118. I thought for sure this was the serial number. It's stamped on there permanently. But it didn't match any serial numbers that any serial number system that Peavey's used. I called up Peavey's customer service number, and I got to tell you that for such a big multinational corporation, it was a surprisingly good experience. I spoke with a real live person from Meridian, Mississippi, with a real southern accent and everything. He told me that this number that I read to him, the serial number, that it's not a serial number. This is a parts number. The serial number on this guitar would have been on a sticker, either right here on the heel or on the back of the headstock. So without the serial number, there's no way to pinpoint the date of manufacture for this bass guitar. All we can do is an educated guess. I got this guitar from my friend in 2001, maybe late 2000. He'd had it for about 4 or 5 years. He got it from a pawn shop. So the customer service representative that I spoke with from Peavey, from Mississippi, he estimated late 90s, maybe early 2000s. So late 90s is probably an accurate guess, mid to late 90s. These basses are still made, but they're different. They're made in China now, and a different pickup configuration. Let's take a look at Peavey's website. This is Peavey's website. This is the Milestone 4 that's currently in production. You can see MSRP is $199 US. Let's take a close-up look at this bass and see what we can learn about it. First off, we see the pickup configuration is different. My guitar is a straight P-bass copy. It just has the split coil pickups, whereas this has both the single coil and the split. It appears to have a maple fretboard, whereas mine has a rosewood fretboard. And then at the headstock, we see the logo is different. This uses the stylized or the more metal Peavey logo, whereas mine has a more block style script logo. What I'd like to learn is when this particular Milestone model started being made, this Milestone 4 with the number 4 instead of the Roman numeral 4, the IV that mine has. If we can discover when this one was made, then we'll know a date that my guitar was made prior to, at minimum. Alright, this part of the video, I've been having trouble figuring out what to say. Sitting here putting it off. I need to say something about my departed friend Doug Gunter. Doug and I met the first day of school, freshman year, on the school bus. He was wearing a Metallica shirt, and I said, "Hey man, nice shirt." Found out that he lived one bus stop away from me. So I would often get off at his bus stop and then, do stuff and then walk back home afterwards. We became very close. He was my best friend for quite a while. But after high school, things got a little different. This guy just kept getting more and more extreme. We still had great times together, did a lot of cool stuff, but he was always just a bigger step out there. And it started to become detrimental. I could see him going down a path that was not good. It was not good for myself, because I know myself. Had I continued hanging out with him, I would have followed him down that path, and I knew that that was not for me. So I pulled away. We lost touch. I moved on with my life. I got married. We moved to another state, and then moved to another state after that. And I just found out recently from his ex-wife that he died. He was living in California, and he passed away. And I don't really know, how to feel about it, because we haven't been in touch for so long. I'm angry that he let his life go in that direction. He went that way, but then again, everybody's got to follow their own path. There's a line in a System of a Down song that they got from a movie that says, a man can't avoid to do what he's meant to do when he's meant to do it, even if he doesn't really want to. And I think of that when I think of my friend Doug. I see him as pulled from outside forces. I see his struggle. Now, it's easy to paint a rosy picture, and I feel like I should paint a rosy picture. All that's left of him now is memories, and the story that he leaves behind can be shaped in any way we choose to shape it. Now, it's much nicer to paint a picture of a tortured bohemian soul who needed more than this world could offer. Much more photogenic than to tell the story of a deadbeat dad, a drug addict. But I'm going to choose to remember the good times, man. When I think upon him, I'm going to think of being young, going to local underground shows in basements and dilapidated warehouses, staying up late, talking about music, talking about girls, trying to start a band, having that first drink. And I'm going to bring it all the way back. When we first met, he was wearing a Metallica shirt. I'm going to play our favorite Metallica Bassline on his bass. And, hopefully James and Lars won't sue me, because, Jason wrote it anyway, right?